All right, there we go. Hello, gentlemen. How are you doing today?
Good, good. Happy to be here. Hello, everyone.
Hello, hello. Yeah, well, doing well. Excited to be here as well.
Sound check has passed once again, so I think we're good to go. We'll give it a couple of seconds for people to join in. We've only been live for about a minute, but I guess I can do the introduction as always. So, hello, everyone watching from YouTube or from X, whatever you are. Happy to see you again, or if it's your first time, welcome to the monthly community call we host every single month. Ideally on the last month, ideally on the last Thursday of the month, but sometimes when we have a lot of live sessions like we did this month, we have to reschedule it. Happy to be here. I'm Dennis. I'm the community lead of Nosana. I'm joined here today by our co-founder Yessi and our DevRel David. Gentlemen, thank you for coming up, for showing up, and thank you for all the stuff you're gonna be sharing with us today. Um, might as well go right into it. I think no need to delay any longer. To keep it simple, call is going to be, I would say, 30 minutes or so. Give you all the stuff you need to know about product, about all the events that we're doing. We have been to a couple of events at the beginning of the year, and we also have a couple of stuff happening, including an online workshop. So I think that's going to be interesting for you. And then we're going to go into ecosystem and community, as we've done a couple of different things, and we have a couple of events actually happening in a couple of weeks in March. And we already have something happening next week, which I think you guys are going to like a lot. And then finally, we're going to wrap it up with a month of partners. February was very busy for us. We've been talking to a lot of different projects. We've been talking to a lot of interesting people, and we have formed a couple of cool partnerships, and we have done voice sessions with some of them. You can find them on YouTube. You can find them on X as well. Very interesting, covering various different topics from AI to privacy. So it's definitely something for everyone. But I'm not going to do any more delays. We're going to go into product updates. We're going to keep it short and sweet. Jess is going to be doing the awesome part of the presentation now, which is going to be sharing some of the stuff that we have done, which is what we've done in February. So just take it away.
Thanks, Dennis, for the intro. Indeed, I'm getting the best part of the presentation, I think, the product updates. Our team has really been cooking. And yeah, we have quite a lot to share. It's been a little while. I think I've missed the last two community calls. So first of all, really excited to be here again. And yeah, like always, extremely happy to share with all of you what's been going on, and of course to show a little bit what we're doing behind the scenes and what you can expect coming up. So in these updates, our team we've been building some really essential features to the product that you can actually see and like that are focused to our clients and people that are using the platform on a daily basis. Most prominently, we have like a whole brand new authentication system for our clients. That's basically the part of the platform where you log in, you register, and the current like updates include way more flexible ways to register and log in for an account. We now also include like basic email, like email password type of registration, which is, I mean, it doesn't sound that impressive. I mean, like which product doesn't have that? But for Nosana, it's new. And I can highlight a little bit where that comes from. As when we started making this project and people were first able to log in and rent decentralized GPU powers on Nosana, you could only log in with wallet. As like with your Phantom wallet or the private key, as at the core, our product is decentralized. So when we started building this 3-4 years ago, it was all like all the fundamentals, they are created around decentralization, being completely on chain and able to interact permissionlessly with the network. This means that you had to log in with your crypto wallet. You had to get like cryptocurrencies like Solana to do transactions. You had to get NOS to pay for compute. And as the network matured and we're getting more and more clients on board, there's just like the majority of people using these types of products. They want to log in using traditional login methods, right? So this has been a recurring thing. A few sessions, like a few, maybe like quite a while ago. I don't know how many community calls before we showed you the credit system and the possibility to log in with your Google account. It's something our team built really fast to able to onboard a few more larger clients on the network that wanted to log in with Google. But since then, a really recurring request has been, how do we log in without Google and without a wallet, like just to use another email system? I was very happy to hear these requests, as personally, I feel like this monopoly Google has on registering and logging into platforms is quite an evil, dangerous thing in online society. It's a necessary method we need to incorporate in order to get more people on the decentralized bandwagon and allow them access to decentralized compute. But I was happy to hear that people were not that it wasn't sufficient for a lot of clients as well. They wanted to log in using more traditional methods. So that's why we have email login and a few other options right now that people can use. Getting very happy feedback already. It's deployed, it's out there, you can use it right now. Email is a beautiful protocol. It's not getting the love it deserves. It's been around forever. It's completely like, you can self-host it. I think it really empowers people to take control of their own digital lives as well. So nothing wrong with email. And yeah, try it out if you haven't. And if you would like to use the platform without Google account, highly encouraged. I'll move to the next update there, which is our Learning Hub. I think an incredibly important part that's been deployed at learn.nosana.com. It's a brand new, completely restructured way to get all the information you need to build and use Nosana. We have a lot of parts in our project, and before we built the Learning Hub, the documentation was kind of scattered around. We had maybe 3 or 4 documentation portals where you could find snippets for the SDK, API documentation, like general like protocol descriptions. Like there's all these different types and different levels of documentation, including tutorials and like walkthroughs. So this has now all been bundled under one like center, like one data like website that you can find most things. It's way better organized. So this is gonna help a lot of the builders. We're gonna talk a little bit more about the builders later. David is gonna cover that, but this is for them a really good tool. And you're gonna see the Learning Hub coming back way more often. We're gonna make some content about it coming up. So, but definitely check it out, really important part. And we would love your feedback on it. So if you use it, if you're new or you've used Nosana before, you need some information, please visit learn.nosana.com, try to find it. If you cannot, just let us know. We really appreciate any feedback to make it easier for anyone in the future to use our platform. Next up on the update list, we have a lot of UI improvements, and like a pretty important detail among them is that the infinite endpoint is now the default strategy. This gets a little bit technical. This feature is really focused to the people that are deploying workloads already on the platform. But if you create a deployment, by default now, it will be on an infinite strategy. It means that your deployment will not stop until you stop it or you run out of credits. Also sounds something like quite normal and default if you're used to AWS or DigitalOcean or wherever centralized you would host your stuff. From a decentralized perspective, this is like we had to really pull some tricks and architect like a whole system around being able to automatically extend and manage your deployments in a very, very good way to give you that same experience that you have in decentralized providers. That's the default. So yeah, we're very proud of this feature finally making it to the daylight. It already was there, it just wasn't the default. But now, after a lot of testing, a lot of clients using this for long amount of times, we're really confident that it should be the default. It's what people expect in the industry, and it's one more step toward making Nosana like on the same level as these bigger centralized providers and the features they provide that people expect. We just need to get on that level as well with our UI to onboard more people and make everyone happy. So yeah, really cool feature. You'll notice this when you create a deployment, it won't stop. You won't have to like say, hey, this has to run for 3 hours. You just start it, and when you're done with it, you stop it. So those are the 3 main highlights that I wanted to cover in this call. Yeah, I think we can move on, Dennis. If you have any questions, shoot, of course, but we can also look ahead. what's coming up.
No. When you mentioned how simple it sounds, and then, well, how technical it actually is, having an infinite deployment on a decentralized, host. Yeah, when you think about it, it is a bit tricky. So I'm definitely glad we got that sorted out finally. And for some people, might not even, want to think about it, but we got it sorted, and they'll be happy about it. And I think it's going to be helpful. But we do have some new things coming up. I would be scared to say they're going to be done in February because I don't want to overpromise anything. But these are the stuff we're going to be focusing on in this current sprint, and that we're hoping to finish up by the end of February. But we'll see. By the next community call, we'll let you know how we're doing. But these are the ideas for now. So let us know what it is.
Yeah. Let's not name any dates. February definitely not possible, but maybe in March. We're quite confident these things are going to see the daylight really soon. But yeah, I'm not here to promise you any dates, but to give you a bit of like detailed breakdown of what you can expect. One feature very, very worthwhile talking about is we're going to have a lot better metrics for clients available when they run deployments, like to show exactly what kind of compute resources are being used in real time. That's also something, again, people are used to when you open DigitalOcean and you see all these statistics of what's happening. We're gonna take a big step in that direction, in that experience, where you get real-time insights in how many resources is my deployment using, not just the VRAM, also like the CPU, the memory, the disk, the network activity. It's gonna give you all these insights that are great just in general for someone to get a better knowledge on, is my application behaving as it should, and how like resource intensive is it? Do I need to maybe upgrade or downgrade my compute? Like, it gives you all these insights and forecasting metrics. But it's also great like as sort of a debugging thing, just giving you that transparency so you can really see if it's behaving properly. Maybe, if it goes to 100% CPU out of nowhere, like these are all these signals that people use while developing applications to see if something is wrong. So it allows you to keep a finger on the pulse of your deployment and see how it's behaving. And this is going to be in the dashboard. So when you start your deployment from the user interface, you will see these real-time statistics. They are being literally live streamed from the host in our decentralized network running your deployment, and it's going to live stream the data to you directly in an encrypted manner. So it's like only you can see it. Very cool. And yeah, useful to a lot of our clients. Next to that, we're working like, this is a little bit like invisible to a lot of people unless you're running a host on Nosana. But we're doing a lot of improvements on our host manager. It's basically the software that we've developed, open source, that is responsible for like figuring out, like putting hosts into the network, taking them out, doing the monitoring of your performance, and also removing cheaters and underperforming nodes from the network. Like all these mechanics are in there. A lot of improvements are happening also in the onboarding and registration flow. So when you're new, you're joining the network, to give everyone very clear an indication what to expect. That's really important. I think right now there can be often confusion for new nodes on if they come on with a specific piece of hardware, like how long will it take for them to be promoted? Like what's the exact flow? So that whole like user experience from a GPU provider will be a lot better. So again, that's mainly if you're hosting nodes. And yeah, what we're already seeing, like there's probably some hosts right now that like we're doing a lot of heavy optimization and making sure the quality of the compute is really good. So as we're keep improving this part, it gets way more common to either get kicked out of the network, to maybe put on pause with a message to improve your hardware. There's a lot happening. So we just want to make sure that the experience for a host is still good, and that also the communication. So if you get removed from the network, it's very clear what happened. It gives you maybe a chance to fix your hardware. Like sometimes it can be silly things like wiring or electricity supply, or sometimes you just need to replace an Ethernet cable because it's just a bit outdated and it throttles your bandwidth too much. Yeah, like this whole system is gonna see a lot of improvements, and that's what the main focus is right now.
Quality of life, basically, a little bit.
Quality
On
of
our
life,
side,
quality of
anyways.
network, that's for sure. Like quality of Nosana is going up because we have all these checks. But for it's because there's two sides of the network, right? We're talking a lot about clients, and honestly, they are the priority for the network right now, and
To
they have been
function.
for a while. We need more people to run workloads, and that's what we talk about a lot. We also have clients on the other end, which are the people providing the host. They're equally important, like vital to the network. We need high quality. But they haven't maybe got all the love and features and stuff that makes their life better. So we're definitely that's a big part of this project here that I just described, is to improve that.
Give them more feedback, basically, if things go wrong.
Yeah,
among other things.
Yeah.
And I also always mention that this is the really hard part about building a decentralized compute network, is actually getting quality compute and making sure that how we're sourcing it and how we're managing our fleet of compute is really difficult to be able to make sure that we are able to reach a certain threshold. I think the last 3 years, that's been the main problem that we've been trying to solve with Nosana. Yeah, but we're getting there. I feel like we're really close to getting 99% uptime. We're close.
All right, thank you. All right, now we know what's coming up. Hopefully soon. No, maybe not in March. Maybe it is in March. No dates anymore. So next up we have events. Luckily here we have some things that we know will happen in March. We can confirm this because we have dates set up. To summarize what happened back in February, the BJ Bourgeois went to Consensus in Hong Kong. He was very busy there, meeting new clients, meeting new people, meeting new leads. He's very happy about the results, and that was one of the main stuff we've been doing in February in terms of events. But in March, we're going into a different direction, and we're going to be hosting a couple of these, a couple of workshops very heavily related to the upcoming Builders Challenge, which is going to be on March 25. David's going to be talking all about it, but I'm just going to be mentioning these dates, and I'll definitely be reminding people in the Discord and Telegram, perhaps also on X, about these upcoming events. As we're going to be having a workshop in Singapore on April the 2nd, and then there's also going to be one in Amsterdam, but I think it's not March 27th. It's April the 2nd, right? I think I put the wrong date.
Indeed, it's not March 27th. It's March 25.
March 25, right? Yeah. Apologies about that. That's me. Probably I corrected it wrong. But I'll put in an update so everyone knows. We're gonna be in Amsterdam around 25th of March. So book your calendars. And we're also gonna be David's gonna be in Berlin on the 27th of March. This one's correct, I think. This one's good. Yeah.
Indeed.
All about
if you want to meet us in person, please do drop by. We'll be here in these spaces, on these dates, and we have our partner as well, AI Builders in Singapore, that will also be hosting a 3-hour-long workshop. You can read more about it in the description, where we have some Luma events set up for you.
Oh, yeah. On Luma you can find all the events. Good call. What's happening next? Ecosystem and community. David, this is your bread and butter. I think this is what you're going to be enjoying, because we have a couple of cool stuff for the community, especially for the devs with this. First one's going to be Learn with Nosana, already scheduled for next week. We're just waiting for the graphic, and then we're pushing it out to all the socials, to all the devs, hoping to learn some stuff. Maybe you can tell us a little bit more about it. We had this nice brainstorming session yesterday, and I think we finally figured out what we want to do, and I think we're quite excited about it. But do tell us a little bit more about it.
Indeed. As Jesse mentioned before in the call, we've been hard at work with this new documentation portal. It's this Learn with Nosana, learn.nosana.com portal, where all of the different disparate documentation have been aggregated into a more readable format, and so you don't have to go around looking for all of the different ways of how you can interface with Nosana. So we have different interfaces, right? We have the web UI, and where you can find at deploy.nosana.com. We have the CLI, where you can deploy jobs to Nosana using your terminal interface. We have the SDK, where you can use programmatically post jobs to the Nosana. And we also have the API that allows you to use any kind of HTTP request, basically, in order to post jobs to Nosana. And last but not least, you can also post jobs to Nosana by interacting with the Solana programs directly. But that's a little bit above my pay grade, and I think as well for most of you to go into the details of that. But maybe somewhere later this year, we'll go into it. But basically, yes, we'll be having a little session on March 11 and going through the basics and little by little hosting an online workshop where we actually learn together how to use all of these different interfaces, starting off with the web UI. And,
awesome.
And afterwards, later this month, we'll be launching our Builders Challenge. So this will be the fourth one. They've been quite successful in the past. The last one we did was mostly about agents, and the next one will be having our partner Eliza OS with us building agents again. So we're very excited to be working with Eliza OS. They have a really big community, and we're very excited as well to be able to have them as a partner and then have this collaboration with them to see how these different agentic frameworks can be used and deployed on Nosana. So indeed, we'll be doing some in real life workshops and online workshops as well to get you started. But basically, it'll start on March 25, and we'll be running it for 2.5 weeks. So you'll have 3 weekends to work on it. Until then, I think it was somewhere in April. And then we'll have a week off, and we'll be judging, and then we'll be distributing prizes up to 3K in USDC in prizes. And first prizes is $1,000, as some of you might already know. So please do stay tuned about it. And very excited to see what all of you will be building.
Oh yeah, absolutely exciting about this one. This is the number 4. Usually the 3rd is the lucky one, but I have a good feeling about this one. I don't know, just something tells me that it's going to be a blast, and I hope people are going to be enjoying it. And also good to know that for those, there is a hackathon. There's a Solana hackathon happening sometime in April, right? And we're just going to be wrapping up the Builders Challenge just before the hackathon starts. So those who want to, participate on both, they have the ability to. We're going to respect their dev intuitions and let them basically be in both places. So I think that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, exactly. It would be a great moment to kind of prototype and ideate your product and your idea with one hackathon, and then roll it into then the Solana Coliseum hackathon in April.
Yeah, that sounds cool. Well,
and last but not least, we also have the grants program at Nosana. So that will also be a pretty good moment when participating in the Builders Challenge of actually trying to prototype your product, get some feedback from the team at Nosana, and then apply for a grant in order to continue building your idea.
Yeah, thank you, David. That was a good call. I also wanted to add on top of this, we have the first stream on the 11th of March. We still don't have an exact date, but we're hoping we're going to do another workshop just a week after, so around the March 18th, maybe 19th. We'll let you know in the near future. But we're going to be focusing on more advanced deployments. And this is heavily related to the Builders Challenge because we noticed a lot of questions on the last one about some ways of deploying things and how things are getting done. So basically, we're going to try to have you ask us questions that we'll be solving in the more advanced workshop in 2 weeks. So that's also something to think about. But definitely do join the first one. And if you like it, there's definitely going to be reasons to join the second one. And that would be it from the community and ecosystem events in March. We're pretty excited about it. And we hope to see you on all of them if you can join us. Yeah. And finally, to wrap things up. Actually, yeah, there we go. Grants. David, this is you. I completely forgot about this slide. Very exciting. So tell us about IMO. You guys worked together a lot. You talked a lot. You went through the whole process with them, and you were ultimately very happy with what they've been doing. So do tell us a little bit more about the project we'll be working with very closely.
Indeed. As I just mentioned as well, we launched the Nosana grant program in December when we were at Breakpoint in Abu Dhabi. And the whole reason for it being is to give projects a grant for them to be able to integrate their product into Nosana and to use Nosana as their GPU provider. And this is our first grantee. AMO networks or IMO networks. So I like to think of them as a decentralized open router. For the uninitiated, Open Router has been a pretty killer app within the LLM space for the past 2 years, where they are able to aggregate then different LLM providers, and they provide one unified interface for developers to be able to access all of those different LLM providers. They have basically been the go-to platform in the last year or so, like when you want to hook up some kind of LLM application into your app. Just because of how easy it is to be able to interface with it, you only have to pay one provider. You don't have to sign up with OpenAI or Anthropic or Mistral or whatever. You can just pay them and they'll handle it for you. And they will then reroute all of your requests then to the right provider. And so what IMO is trying to do is build a decentralized version of that. So Nosana will be one of their GPU providers, and specifically will be providing them image generation and video generation models. So when we read their grants application, we were very excited to see that such a killer product is being replicated within the decentralized space. And when it comes to being able to serve LLM tokens more cheaply, decentralized compute is really where it's at. So we have lots of trust, and we're very hyped for IMO, for what they're building, and the potential success that they have to be able to compete within this space.
Awesome. You sound very excited about them. So I'm going to try to take your word for it and trust you. Very exciting to hear that. Hopefully we see more from them in the future. And yeah, that covers the ecosystem part now. I haven't forgotten anything else. There's one more thing left to talk about, which is, well, potentially the most exciting thing that happened in February, which is basically February was a big month for Nosana because it's a month of partners. We landed 3 different partnerships during the month of February, and we had a session with one of our older partners, Arcium. We've been busy at work. Those of you who follow us on X know that we've done a couple of live sessions in the meantime with some of them, including OpenGPU and including Arcium. All of these recordings can be found on our YouTube channel. So either they're uploaded as videos, or you can go to our live streams on YouTube as well, and you can find them all uninterrupted and check them out if you're interested about any of these topics. Some of our notable partners, obviously, for this month are going to be OpenGPU, Salar, and then Alio finally, which all of them in a different way have their own pros, I would mostly say. And very important about them is that we have blog posts about each and every one of them. So for those of you who perhaps don't have the time to listen to community calls or get up to speed with what's happening on the daily, you have the newsletter, which is, let me see if I can find the banner for it. I might have it. No, I don't have it. It's basically, if you go to the website, you can find the newsletter pretty easily. There's a CTA to it. And on every YouTube video from us, you can also find the call to action for the newsletter. We just launched one for February, which basically covers everything we covered on this call in textual form. So if you're just looking to get up to speed quickly, that's the best way to do it. And yeah, that would be it for the partners in February. Very exciting. And with our partners being covered, that basically covers the whole community call. Just wrapping 30 minutes as promised. Couldn't be done better. Thank you guys for joining me on this call, sharing all the product updates, all the ecosystem news, our new grantee, very awesome. And finally, the partners we all have. I want to thank them as well, if any of them are actually watching the call, which is pretty cool from them. And yeah, anything you want to add before we wrap this up?
Thank you for hosting, Dennis. I think it was a great call, good updates, and thanks everyone for listening.
Yeah, same. Very excited for March and April for what's about to come, and thank you everyone for tuning in, and thanks Dennis for hosting.
Of course, my pleasure. Hope to see all of our viewers soon on one of our workshops or on the at least next community goal. But there's so many different things going to be happening. We're quite excited about it, and I hope March is going to be killer for you because it is awesome for us, and we're very excited. Take care, everyone. You have a nice day, morning, evening, wherever you are, and yeah, we'll see you soon.
Okay. All good. Thank you. Ciao, ciao.